Hello everyone, it's Ange de Lumière here, coming live for an episode of High Vibe Monday, which is very special because it's actually the first day of my birthday giveaway, which is centered around self-love. So I'm going to be talking about my journey of the Slim Soul, and about the book that I'm giving away, which is called The Journey of the Slim Soul. So part of this competition, and there are rules for this competition that you will receive when you sign up for my newsletter. You have to sign up to take part, and every day this week, so we're Monday to Thursday, I will be doing a video on my page, which I will talk about a different topic, about the prize of the day. And for those of you who want to take part in this competition, in this birthday giveaway, there will be a question that you will receive by email, and you will find the answer in the video for that day. So I'm just going to share this video in a group just now. So I'm going to give a little bit of time for people to come on live. Hello, I can see someone. I'm just sharing my video in a group, and I will start the video in a minute. Is that Kim? I think I see you. So good to talk to you. So let me just share this in also, I need to say, hello, this is a wonderful person. I need to say that Facebook is not endorsing this giveaway competition, and that's why you will receive all the actual terms and conditions for the competition if you want to win one of the prizes that I'm giving away this week. So I'm just sharing the link to sign up for the competition, and then I'll be with you. Thank you for your patience. And I will also be sharing my story, which I realized I haven't actually shared on my podcast before. So this will be an occasion for you to learn. Why is it not letting me share? Oh. Oh. It won't let me share. What's going on? Facebook has been a bit funny lately. Oh well, never mind. Let's forget about this group and let's get on with this video. So, a year ago on my birthday, and this was an impulse, and I talk a lot about inspired action on my page and on my podcast. I felt the urge to start what I call my journey of the Slim Soul, which is the title of my book. And I hadn't been on it for a while because I'd sort of almost given up on myself. You know, I was like, oh, what's the point? I don't really want to be bothered. I'm clearly not into diets, and I've never been. Well, actually, that's not true, but I'm going to tell you a bit more about this. And but I didn't want to give up on my body shape, and I had this coat last year that I bought in a charity shop that I really loved, but I couldn't zip it up basically, and I thought I'm gonna get it anyway because I really love it, and let's see what happens. And on that day, I decided that my goal was to fit in that coat and be able to button it up and have lots of space in it. And I have to say, a year down the line, it has happened. I can even wear a jacket. I had quite a thick jacket underneath it, and I still had some space. So this is my success journey, so to speak, about this journey of the Slim Soul that I started last year on my birthday on the 6th of November. What was I going to say? Sorry, I'm losing the track a bit. So, what exactly is the journey of the slim soul, and how did it start for me? How did I come to write a book about slimming when it was the least thing that interested me at the time? So, back in 2009, and this is the 10th anniversary of my book, which is why I'm doing this birthday giveaway and my birthday. I think 10 years is quite significant. What happened 10 years ago is I went to France to visit my family, and I met up with two of my cousins that I spent most of my childhood with. And these two cousins were about the same body shape as I was when I was a kid, when I turned into a teen. We were all quite, I would call it generous, okay? And when I visited them in 2009, they were both model thin. You know, they'd completely changed their body shape. And sadly, it was through, and I'm not going to reveal any secrets here, but it was more through illness and other stuff rather than healthy weight loss. But I was left the only fat girl in the family, and that really hurt. So I came home from France to the UK where I lived then. And I've lived in the UK now for 18, 19 years. And I just couldn't, I hated myself so much. It was awful. Back then, I wouldn't take a picture of myself. I wouldn't let people take pictures of myself. I didn't have mirrors in the house. It was just awful. I hated myself so much. And the crazy thing is, I hated myself before, even when I was thin, but now I was fat on top of it. So I came to that point where I felt so miserable, so depressed, that one night before going to bed, I actually prayed to the angels for help. Now, this is something that I would have never done before. It's like, ask angels help with slipping? This is ridiculous. This is ludicrous. But I did it because I felt so bad. It was eating away inside of me. It was ruining my life. It was ruining my joy. It was ruining my marriage in a way, because I couldn't enjoy the man that I loved, and I couldn't enjoy my children so much because I felt so much self-hate. So I went to bed after praying, and I'm not religious. Let me just say this. I just said, please, angels, help me. I just want to out of this situation. This is really awful. And the next morning, I woke up with an absolutely irresistible urge to run, to go jogging. Now, that might not seem extraordinary to you if you don't know me, but back then, I hated running so much that I wouldn't even run to catch a train if I was late. This was how much I hated running. And I had hated running all my life, because back in school, we had athletics back in France where I lived, and so we had to run on a proper. Thank you for the hearts. I don't know who's on here. Maybe I should feel free to make some comments as you watch, because that would be lovely. But I'm going to read the comments when I'm finished with this episode. So I back when I was a teen, I was the slowest runner in the entire school, and I was already picked on and I was bullied. And so running was like agony, not only because I wasn't good at it, but also because it was one more chance to be humiliated publicly. So you can imagine my surprise when I woke up that next morning wanting to run. Like, it's so crazy. And it was my boyfriend back then. We're married now, but he's a runner. He runs. He used to run every day, and he still does now. Hi, Sana. And he hadn't managed to inspire me to run in all the years we'd been together. And suddenly that morning, I wake up and I go to him and I say, "What do I need to run?" So I go around the house and find a pair of old trainers that I hadn't used in ages, some shorts, sweatbands, stuff, and I say, when can we go running? And of course, I had 3 children back then, so we had to organize things a little bit. We decided to go to Weston, which is not far from where I lived, by the beach. It was a lovely sunny day on a September day. I think it was the 14th of September, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was a transformational day for me. We had to actually wait, because the day I woke up was a Friday morning, and we could only go on the Saturday for that run. So I was like, for a whole day, I was like a lion in a cage. When can I go running? When can I go running? And I was like, this is crazy. Why do I want to run so bad? And I realized at that point that it was the angels who changed the way I thought about running. It was a complete miracle. honestly, I've never seen anything like that. Well, I have actually since in other ways, but this is sometimes people wonder how miracles work. Miracles is when you change the way you look at things most of the time. It's not when you see an apparition of an angel out there, or it's or when you receive something. Very often it's an inner transformation. So I went for that run. I was 44 years old back then, okay? I'm now, 10 years older in a few days. And it was so nice, but I had this like imposter syndrome. I was like, I said I was going to run, but I don't even know if I can do this. And so I ran. My husband gave me the best advice back then. He said, hi, Yael. He said, only run 5 minutes and then come back. And I was like, you want me to run only 5 minutes? But that's not really a proper run. Why are you doing this to me? But anyway, I followed his advice because he was a seasoned runner, whereas I'd never run in my entire life. And after 5 minutes, I was hit by the runner's high. It was just amazing. And that was it. I was hooked. And I've run ever since. The only time I stopped is when I was pregnant with my fourth child because I had some complications and I couldn't run. But basically, I've been a runner for 10 years from that day, from asking the angels for help. So I think that's pretty spectacular. But then what happened next, which is quite interesting, is that a couple of weeks later, or a couple of days later, I can't remember exactly, but it's still in September, okay? We're still September 2009. I went to see a psychic friend of mine because I'd written a book about spirituality that I was really enjoying doing. And I had a 10 years writer's block, so it was really good for me to be able to write that book. I was 100,000 words into that book about spirituality, feeling good about myself. I was a Reiki master back then. I was a healer. So I was really interested in spirituality. So I go to see my friend and say, what are the chances of this book being published? Because I didn't want to waste my time pitching to agents and stuff if it had no chance of being published. And she said, I'm sorry to say, this is not the right book. You're supposed to write a book about slimming. And I looked at her almost with a look of horror on my face. I'm like, I've written 100,000 words in this book and you're telling me I need to write a book about slimming? I'm not even interested about slimming. I was just so angry. I wasn't angry at her because I love her to bits. But anyway, and she said, not only that, you have to write it and it has to be published before your birthday. So it was like the 14th, 15th of September, around that date, and I was supposed to have it published by the 6th of November. And I had never stuff published, and 10 years ago is a lot harder to publish than it is today. So anyway, I was like, I'm driving back from where she lived because she was quite, she lives in Wales and I live in England. But we're like only half an hour from each other because we're on either side of the bridge. Anyway, I drive back and I'm like, oh my goodness. And it had to be written in English, and I'm French. I'd never written a book. Well, actually, I did write this spiritual book in English, but I wasn't very confident about writing in a book in English. Anyway, it happened. 6 weeks later, The Journey of the Slim Soul was born. So this is the book that I'm giving away a signed copy of. A book that was actually commissioned by angels. I think in a way they asked me to do this because they had answered my prayer and they thought, you can help people with a different way to look at slimming and body image. Please do this as a favor for other people, almost like an exchange for the help that they gave me with my own journey. So today, well, not exactly today, next week is the 10th anniversary of this book. And I want to give away a signed copy to someone who is going to watch this video and sign up for my Slim Soul newsletter. So if you sign up, and I will put the link under this video, and it will be for the podcast on the show notes, you will receive, an onboarding sequence of a couple of emails where I explain a bit my story and why I'm interested in helping people with body image and their relationship to food. And then you will receive today, and I'm going to do a recap at the end of the week, the question that you have to answer by email to me in response to the email you'll receive to win a signed copy of this book. So just to give you a little bit of information about the book and about the giveaway now, we're almost finished with this episode. The Journey of the Slim Soul has 7 golden rules in it. Okay? And the 7 golden rules of slimming with the angels are Love yourself now as you are. This is so important. It's so important that I actually wrote a self-love kit that is going to be the prize that you can win tomorrow if you watch the video and you sign up for my newsletter. The second golden rule is enjoy your body now. Don't wait until you're slim. Just enjoy it now. The third is make friends with your hunger. And I had a big issue with that because I'd been hungry my entire life, especially as a child. I was only fed at very, very strict times and I was always hungry. And I actually discovered, and I'm inviting you to watch some past episodes of my podcast about slimming. I can't check them right now as I'm talking to you, but about in December, the episodes in December, I had one about how slimming can be a path to spiritual awakening. I had a lovely interview with Susan Kalberg about some tips around slimming before Christmas. And then in the new year, I think I did one episode about how the Akashic Records can help you slim. And it's particularly interesting because what the angels showed me is that slimming is like a video game. And if you want to learn more about all of this, I did 5 video series last week on this page. So for those of you who watch on YouTube or listen on the podcast, my page is called I Can Help You Thrive on Facebook. That's where I'm the most active. And you can watch all the videos last week about my approach to slimming and how I help people in this way. But of course, my page is a business page. I'm here for people in business. And the reason why it's so important, and I haven't given up on slimming as part of my business, even though I now work more on intuitive strategy, is that if you are not happy with your body image, you will probably sabotage your visibility and your success. And this is the part that I want to help entrepreneurs with, especially female entrepreneurs, because they're the ones who usually are more body aware and have more hang-ups about how they look and how they feel and all that. So what was I going to say? Yeah, I've told you about the prizes that I'm going to be giving tomorrow. Actually, I don't think I have. Tomorrow I'm giving away my self-love kit. So come and watch this video. Select my page as a see first so that you can be notified by Facebook when I go live. So tomorrow's Tuesday. Wednesday I will be the prize will be an M doll. Now M dolls are dolls that I make myself. They're healing dolls, and again it's the angels who asked me to create those dolls so that to help people do inner child work, because I have tried to do inner child work myself, but without a sort of representation of myself that I can look at or feel that I'm talking to my inner child, I found it very difficult. So I created these dolls that I make myself, and I'm auctioning or giving it as a prize one of the dolls that I've made that comes with an ebook. So that's the prize for Wednesday. And Thursday you can win a spot in the first 8 weeks of the Slim Soul, which is my pilot round of my signature online course based on the book that I'm giving away today. So in order to win these prizes, you have to sign up for my newsletter. As I said already, you'll find the link under this video or under the podcast in the show notes. The show notes to the podcast can be found on my website, which is called icanhelpyouthrive.com, in the blog. And then you need to answer the question for the prize that you want, and you can apply for all 4 prizes if you want, before midnight on Sunday, the 3rd of November. Okay? I need to receive an email from you with the answer for each of the questions that you want. And I'm going to do a recap on Saturday for people to have time to catch up with the videos and enter prizes and everything. So, but of course, if you sign up for the newsletter after Friday, you will not receive the recap on Saturday. So make sure you sign up before Friday. I'm so happy to have done this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone who's joined me live. I will now love you and leave you until tomorrow when I do the second video for my birthday giveaway. Bye everyone.